it had a change me that had like almost like 500,000 like signees.
They will eventually make this Obi-Wan movie. I would expect it to be the next of these Star Wars stories.
But my thing is, if that's not like that was. People have been wanting that for, close to a decade or so since the last Star Wars movie. They've been saying, continue it with Obi-Wan. He was the best part of those prequels. So just expand on it with just Ewan McGregor and maybe, a different director, different creator or something like that. But, for years people have wanted that. Nothing. They'll never go in a direction like Death Troopers, even though that is a hell of a story. It is probably one of the better Star Wars Expanded Universe stories that you can read out there, besides like Thrawn. But that story is amazing. If they really wanted to pick one and be like, let's roll with this, that is the story to roll with. That was an awesome story. For those who don't know, basically the whole premise was it was basically a ship was infested with like zombies, and these troopers were trying to survive, and it was an insane story. And it was definitely one of the cooler books to read. You should definitely go out and you should give it a check. I forgot you remember who the author of that book was?
No, let me check it. Let me look it up right now.
Yeah, but it was definitely an amazing book to read. I read it when I was playing the Star Wars Republic Commando game, because they had like a horror level on that too.
Joe Schreiber. So go check that out if you want a nice Star Wars like horror kind of feel. Like
wait, is he related to Nipple Schreiber?
Yes.
Okay.
Direct relation. I think Nipple was his father.
Yes, of course.
No, his mother.
We hit a quota on that word. So for me, I just feel like this is, I hope it's good. We're gonna go see it.
We're seeing it. It's not going to be good. It'll be fine. It'll be.
It's not going to be good.
It's not going to be a movie.
Fine.
It's not going to be a movie where I'm going, yeah, Solo. I'm going to get a Solo T-shirt. I'm going to go to Denny's, get the Solo, snacks. This is just an unnecessary cash grab. We all know what it is. It's playing it safe. It hired the director, Ron Howard, who I like, but the whole.
I thought you were going to say they hired the director 3 different times.
Yeah, they fired the directors that tried to do something a little different, have a different tone, and they went with the director who, I'm sure they said, this is how we want the movie to be made. Listen, it's not something that's going to be good, but I'll hopefully be surprised, and it'll be better than I'm expecting. I don't know who the villain is. I know very little about this movie. I would expect, if you're going to put Boba Fett in any movie, this would be it.
This would be where you would want to introduce him.
Or we find out about his debt with Jabba,
I'm sure we'll probably get some mention of Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
How could you make a movie that has to do with the criminal underworld without the guy who literally runs the criminal underworld?
They've shown nothing. I mean, they've shown like a few scenes of like a train ride. From visually,
Chewbacca might die.
It doesn't look visually nice. It looks very dark.
Chewbacca might die.
Chewbacca's definitely dying in this movie.
They were teasing that Chewbacca might die, and apparently he's 190 years old. Did you know that?
I did.
And he knows how to fly.
Yeah.
Since when?
Right, he can fly too, I guess. And he can talk in English. How do you learn English?
Could you imagine?
By the way, did you know that in the Star Wars movies...
He just chooses not to this whole time.
By the way, do you know that in the Star Wars movies they don't speak English?
Really?
No, they speak a different language, but apparently for the movie's sake, they just speak English, but if you read a book, they're speaking like Coruscant or something like that, yeah.
Well,
or they're speaking like common tongue.
Factually, that makes sense. Or like logistically, that makes sense.
But I'm saying like, so all the people that you see in Star Wars that like they can go from planet to planet talking, every planet has a different language.
Yeah.
So instead of having a different language for every time, apparently Obi-Wan can speak like every language.
Well, you've been somewhere long enough, you just kind of figure it out.
No, but when you hear them speaking in English, technically they're not. They're just speaking. They're speaking in Twi'lek.
They're gonna have a movie and they're like,
well, at the same time,
no, they've done it in the past. Right. They've had the subtitles like that.
Think about it.
But I just thought it was kind of an interesting thing.
It's a far, far future, man.
No, it's not.
It's in the past, you idiot.
A long time ago.
Yeah, but that's still far ahead of us.
No, it's far behind us. You get it? It's a story.
Oh, so you're telling me that the universe like imploded and then hit the hard reset, and now we're here.
Something happened, obviously.
Thanos came.
Yeah, connect it all.
Hey.
I'm waiting for the connection. I'm waiting for these crossovers.
Can you imagine?
Guardians of the Galaxy meets Star Wars.
Oh my God, please.
Who would shoot first, Rocket Raccoon or Han Solo?
Absolutely Rocket Raccoon.
I'll tell you this. Star-Lord shooting no matter what.
Yeah,
because we saw what happened in Infinity War.
Yeah, Star-Lord ruined Star-Lord ruined everything.
Who would win in a fight then?
Han Solo is very similar to Star-Lord. Clearly, Star-Lord was based off of him from his cockiness and even the way he dresses and flies ships.
Let me ask you a question now. Who would win in a fight? Darth Sidious? Or would he be a good...
Darth Plagueis, the Wise?
No, yeah, we'll say the Emperor. Darth Sidious, the Emperor.
Okay.
Or Thanos.
Thanos.
In
a heartbeat.
Thanos literally destroyed half of
I'm not talking with the
beings.
Infinity Gauntlet. I'm talking let's say...
I don't know what Thanos' abilities are without that glove and any stones.
All right, so what about Darth Vader versus all of Thanos' minions? I think Darth Vader takes that.
I wouldn't say all of his minions, because you saw the trouble that even guys like Thor and Iron Man had against these people. I would say Vader could definitely...
Well, Thor didn't actually fight any of them.
Did he not?
No.
Okay.
Thor didn't fight him.
I would assume that if we're going to take...
I remember things.
I would say Vader is one of the most powerful beings that we've seen in film.
I'm saying Vader takes it. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think he takes it. Also because he has a sword that will cut through anything, so...
Can it cut through Captain America's shield? Ooh. Now, let's look behind the science, behind the movies.
So we're just going to go with yes.
Captain America's shield is made from a substance...
it's made from vibranium.
But we've seen the lightsabers penetrate even the slightest thing. And then, and then it all comes down.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah. Vibranium over lightsaber.
Sure. I mean,
there'd be a lot of stuff I'd like to see. Listen, let's talk a little more about Star Wars because we got 10 minutes or so.
Yes.
So let's talk about what's your favorite Star Wars movie. I'll tell you why you're wrong.
And by the way, you are listening to Nerdvana right here on the Voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. My name is Jody here with Justin Greenberg.
Yep.
And Colton Murray. So...
best Star Wars movie.
Colton the Enchilada.
Best Star Wars movie or my favorite Star Wars movie?
Either one.
My favorite Star Wars movie, obviously, is going to be Episode 2.
Me too, man. Nice.
Oh, no.
I'm happy about that. I just love how all the clones look exactly the same. Fake.
Cool.
Yeah. I love, the PS1, PS2 type of graphics. It really, it really makes it just seem so realistic and fun.
What if they remade the prequels today?
I would love for that. I would. If any movie needs to be remade in the history of film, it's those 3 movies. I would even condense it maybe into 2 movies.
Who would you have play Anakin?
Starting from what year?
Listen,
are we going to start from baby Anakin?
I think the whole script needs to be rewritten. I don't even know if we need young Anakin. It depends how you want to write it.
We also don't need Queen Amidala, whatever.
No, you do.
I mean, you need her.
Yes, you
I don't know if
do.
you need her to be
we need her to make...
You literally need her.
Yeah, I know that, but
you cannot do that without her.
We don't need as much of her.
I'll tell you who we don't need. We don't need Shmi.
Shmi.
Who is Shmi?
She is
mother.
Anakin's mother.
We don't need
What?
Shmi.
We don't need Shmi.
That's what her name was?
You didn't know that?
No!
What kind of Star Wars fan are you, bro?
Clearly not a big enough one to know that his mom was freaking named Shmi.
And Shmi is also the guy from Hook. Or Peter Pan.
Yes.
Was Steven Spielberg...
Mr. Shmi.
I mean, was George Lucas just like...
Copy, paste, done.
Shmi, that's funny. Okay.
He mixed up his project files and didn't notice until the end. It was like,
Control-C, Control-V.
Or he meant to write she, but accidentally his fat finger hit the M as well.
But he was eating he was eating a donut and it just went up. It's me.
No,
that works.
It's brilliant.
He hit the C and the H at the same time.
Stupid fat finger George Lucas.
He eats too much.
So for real though, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
My favorite to watch right now, I'm gonna have to say. With it's man, you're gonna be mad at me for saying this.
If it's in the original trilogy, I won't be mad at you.
No.
Oh, then I'm mad at you.
No. My favorite one to watch right now is Rogue One.
I hate you.
I love watching Rogue One, but
Rogue One was a lot of fun.
But I don't.
Shut up.
I really only watch it for the. I only watch it for the second half, honestly. So if I had to start the movie from any point, it'd be from like halfway through.
Just let people enjoy things, Justin.
But if saying that half of a movie doesn't count, then obviously the best movie would be for me A New Hope.
That's a good one.
I like watching A New Hope over the other two because I love Alec Guinness. I just love watching him try to violently try to hit what's his name, the guy who played
David Prowse.
Yeah, David Prowse. The two of them agreed let's just go violent with this, and you could see the smoke from the lightsaber prop. You could see it smashing into each other. These two really were trying to hit each other. It looked hilarious.
David, what was his last name?
Prowse.
He's the one that was actually in the scene,
yes.
right? Okay.
They filmed the scene, I believe, a couple times, and every time they did, it didn't look very well. So the two of them went, all right, let's just really swing at each other, and you could see smoke coming off of the lightsabers.
Yeah, what I love about the choreography in the first three movies is that
brutal.
It didn't look flashy. It wasn't flashy. None of it was any flashy. It was just violent. That was two swordsmen trying to kill each other.
Yeah,
there was nothing else further than that.
Episode 4, it doesn't really hold up the fighting, but I'll take the fight between Luke and Darth Vader at the end of Empire Strikes Back over any fight in any of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
I think that Episode 5 was my favorite.
That's the best one.
It was just... There was so much intensity, so much story packed into that movie.
You get introduction of Yoda, who's arguably the best character in all of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You get, the Force Ghost of Obi-Wan, so you do get your Alec Guinness fix. You get Lando Calrissian's introduction. You get the beautiful scenery in Cloud City. You get the climactic fight. And it's one of the few movies to really end on a downer.
Yeah. Also for me, I love the fact that in Rogue One you can watch Darth Vader go off, which is probably the coolest use of Darth Vader. But we're all done here for Nerdvana. We're all finished. So I hope everyone enjoyed our episode.
This was a really good one. I think we need to talk more Star Wars next week. So once we see Solo, we'll have the full review of that. We'll give a spoiler review of Deadpool 2, Solo review next week, and then we'll talk some more Star Wars because we barely touched upon it.
Absolutely. So for Justin Greenberg, for Colton Murray, my name is Joe Ritter. We'll see you guys next week.